I think everybody here understands what the last 20, 25 years the Boise brand has done in college football. I said last night I'm very familiar with them. One of the best coaches I ever worked for was a guy named Jim Kreiner that was an early leading guy in building that program. Lyle Setensich, Walt Kreiner. I knew we were at Iowa State, and our favorite part of the year was in the summer. They would take us fishing up in Idaho with their ties of Boise, and I knew about it for a long time. When I was at SMU, we were in the Mountain West, or actually, what was it called back then? You used to cover
Conference
the
USA.
what conference?
It was
The WAC. It was the WAC. That's what it was.
All these acronyms.
Yeah, I told you I was old, but I try to forget it too. But just an outstanding place. Andy and I, a couple of years ago, when I was a defensive coordinator at Baylor, had the chance to have dinner at one of the coaches' dinners. Really enjoyed him, enjoyed his wife. He was sort of at a place in his career. He was deciding what he wanted to do. It was just funny how it worked out. I laughed. I ended up leaving, going to Arizona State, had a chance. I had some ties at Oregon, and the guy called me and was asking me, "Who'd you hire? Who's a good young coordinator?" And it was funny. I said, Andy Avalos. And the next thing you know, he ended up getting the job. I mean, not because, but they were looking at him anyway. But I just thought that he was that type of guy. And then, next thing you know, Harsin leaves and Andy's back at where he played. And really a neat guy. And, as I said last night, I'm proud of our team. I think that we fought some adversity this year. We were a team, I thought we were very resilient. We had a lot of goals we wanted to get. Getting to the conference championship with UTSA was big. We had some games that we really felt we left some things on the table that really could have escalated our season into being not a good season, but a great season. Had a few plays here and there at UTSA, at Memphis, that we really felt that we could have got in the 9-10 game win deals. And we were just much like Boise. We were disappointed in our play at the championship game, and we feel like this is a big game with everything that's happened, with the release of Seth and those things, that this is a game that's more about the players and the people here trying to finish this season on a right note. I think our guys have worked hard. They prepped hard. I think it means a lot to be here. I think they know that for us to have a chance in this game, we're going to have to bring our A game. And that's always all right, because you never know what happens till the game goes. So we're looking forward to it, and we're excited about it.
All right, thanks, Coach Bennett. We'll open it up to questions in the room before we go to Zoom. Please raise your hand, and Derek has got you right up front over here.
Brett Vito, Denver Chronicle. Phil, how have the guys handled the last few days? I know it's been kind of an era of change for you.
I've always said this. Of course, once again, I've done this forever. Kids are resilient, and we've stayed on schedule. With the hiring of Eric, who I've got another story on that. I recruited him. I watched him play basketball in shallow water when I was the head coach. He was coming to SMU until Leach offered him at the last minute. He told me he wasn't going to walk on at Tech, and I said, well, they're not going to offer you. They did. He went, and I told the guy recruiting him, he said, Leach is going to watch him play basketball. And I said, he'll offer him, because Eric was a heck of a basketball player. But Eric's been great. I wanted him around the guys. It's going to be his program now. But our coaches, I want to talk about our coaches a little bit. I'm very proud of this staff. They've kept it together. We hadn't anybody gone in the portal. Everybody has stayed here. As I told them, I said, the cause is simple. We're going to try to finish this season as a team. You're the one who got us here. It's a player's game. It always has been. Coaches are just fortunate enough to be involved in it. And I think they have adhered to that. And they practice hard. We had a hard practice on Wednesday here. Yesterday was good. So I think they've handled it well. I'm hoping about midnight or 11:30 tomorrow I can say that.
Yeah, and you're back as a head coach, and you've done this before, and now you're in an interim capacity. What's this been like for you to be back to guide this team through a bowl game?
Brett, I've been so fortunate in my career. I told a guy that I knew here last night, I mean, I started this journey in 1978 with Emory Billard. And I've had jobs that people only dream of. I've worked with unbelievable people, and I've never had a job that I didn't like, the people I didn't like. So every job I've had has some have been different than others, but it's all about the people. And I've been so fortunate. I love Seth. I love what the people at North Texas. As I told Eric, I think this is it's not an Oklahoma, it's not an A&M at this point, but it's a great place. And people ask me, why come back to that? Seth played for me at OU, and I loved him. I loved what he was about, and I thought I could help him. I think we did help him. And so being back here is a little bit bittersweet. I'd rather be at home looking at, not home, at the hotel looking at tape. But, as we all say, it is what it is. And I felt myself that I owed it to these guys to give them the leadership through this time, and these coaches who I've thought have done a wonderful job to make this thing a positive.
Yeah, it's just been a special year for you. I mean, you've had, Sam's been on your staff this year. Gush is one of your, been a lifelong friend. You've got your Pass Waters is on the staff and all that.
Jared Holly was an All-American for me at Pitt.
Yeah, all these guys are kind of your guys. Has that been a special year for you? And you've also are kind of at the tail end here. Is this kind of might this be your last game?
Well, you're being kind at the tail, kind of. I don't know. I mean, I can't say, but I will say this. My wife told me that we built a home years ago. After I lost my first wife, when I remarried, she said, you can do what you want, but she said there'll be a time that you're going to have to come home. And she told me the other day that she's going to have a man sleeping in her house next year, and if it was going to be me, I better show up. I wouldn't call that an ultimatum, but I'm an Aggie, but I'm not stupid. And I say this again, Brett, I mean, it's just, I get chills. I'm so thankful. R.C. Slocum, I still talk. He was my position coach in college, and he asked me, he said, what are you going to do? And, of course, he's fought this battle with cancer, and we talked a lot. And he told me, he said, listen, he said, and then this deal with Mike, you only have so much time. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. I'm going to add this to all the people that you said that were on my staff. I loved them, but I had 3 grandchildren, Scotty, Stevie, and Pepe that I got to see every day. And for a 67-year-old man, that was big, and I enjoyed that. But just very fortunate, and I would imagine that I'll be sleeping at 4750 Johnson Creek Loop in College Station next fall.
Back in the back.
This question, I'm Bob Beeler, the radio announcer of Boise State. Questions for Ridge and for Austin. For those of us that haven't seen you guys play, maybe give us a little idea of what the defense and the offense looks like, what we can expect to see tomorrow.
Good mixture of pass and run. One established run game and play off our play action pass. And so we'll take our deep shots and we'll try to run it as well, and try to be fast paced and score as many touchdowns as we can.
Yes, we want to stop the run. We feel like if we can stop the run, we can try to make the offense predictable, and we just want to play as hard as we can and prevent them from doing what they want to do.
Up front here, dear, please.
Reed Smith, 24/7 Sports. So Austin, it's been quite the year for you, just pretty much a breakout year. Just what has been your journey this season and, getting back to a bowl game?
Yeah, when I came back, I thought we had a lot of talent, and that was one of the reasons I wanted to come back. And so to have a year like this has been great. being back in this stadium is bittersweet. Obviously we played here last year and we lost. So, to come back here to play in the Frisco Bowl, it's been great so far. And so we want to finish it off with a win, and that'd be a great way to end the season for the guys and what we've been through this year, and that's our goal.
And then just from a player's perspective, Brett asked Coach a minute ago, just how has the team dealt with, just the last 2 weeks and everything that's happened?
Yeah, it's been tough, but I think our team's been great. Obviously we love Seth, and we understand that it's a business, so things like this happen. But we've stuck together. Like Coach kind of said, nobody's entered the transfer portal. We're here to play. We've been through a lot this season, and so we want to play, and we want to finish it the right way.
Up front to your left here, you can just pass it right up.
For both the players, what have you guys seen from Boise State, and what problems do they possess? And I guess, kind of what Phil was saying, but just, the last, decade plus, what are just, how familiar are you with Boise State and the brand and what they've done?
Yeah, I mean, I've watched them, being an older guy, and so I've seen them play, the Oklahoma in the bowl game, and, I watched Kellen Moore when he was there.
He was 20 then.
Yeah, so I'm familiar with the Boise brand. Obviously, a great program, and so it's awesome to get to play them. And obviously they're a great team this year too. And so their defensive line is big. Linebackers are good, and then we got a great secondary. So we're gonna have have to make in-game adjustments and make sure we're executing at a high level, to get our yards and keep the chains moving and end up scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, I've been watching Boise since I was a little kid too, watching them in the Fiesta Bowl. So it's cool to play against them finally. And as for their team, they got a good run game, a good quarterback, good freshman quarterback, and some nice receivers. So it's just our job to contain them and stop them, but it's going to be a good matchup.
In the back right there.
Austin, I'm Chris Mike-Hosky with Bowl Season Radio. Oldest FBS Division I QB in history. That's obviously a headline of this game. How do you think your future, your life has changed by deciding to come back and take this on, as opposed to after baseball just going into the working world?
Obviously as a high school kid, I had dreams of playing both sports. Baseball ended up coming first, so I chased that dream, and I knew if baseball didn't work out, football was something I wanted to do. And so, obviously I made my way to here to North Texas and fought and tried to be the starting quarterback. And so, just trying to make the most of my opportunities. And so, I have a dream of playing at the next level, and so that's what I'm gonna try to do. Obviously want to win a bowl game first before that happens. And so, it's been great. I've loved the journey that I've been on. It's been extremely fun. And so, the guys, teammates along the way, both baseball and football, are something that I'll remember forever. And so these memories are something I'll remember for the rest of my life. And so I wanted to make sure that, I left no stone unturned. I didn't want to have any regrets later on in life of not trying to chase a dream. And so, that's what I did. And, making me the oldest quarterback, that's how I had to do it. And so, I'm very grateful for the opportunities that I've been given.
Back over to Brett, please.
Ridge and Austin, for you guys, what's it been like for you guys to have Coach Bennett to lean on, a veteran coach that's been around, as you guys go through a time of transition and head into this bowl game?
Coach Bennett, he's been great. He's been great to his defense, offense, and everything. For me, he put me in the game after our starting corner got injured, and he just trusted me ever since. And the energy he's brought to this team and confidence, we haven't missed a beat, I feel like, and he's been a great asset to our team ever since he's been here.
Yeah, I think Coach Bennett obviously is very well respected, and so when he stepped into that leadership role, I feel like we all wanted to. Yeah, he's very intense, and I like that about him, and he's wanting to win the game. And so, with his experience, and he's a great coach, he's a guy that's easy to follow. And so he's done a great job. I think we've had a great bowl prep, and, we've done a great job, and so we're, ready to win the game.
Back up here at the front, please.
Coach, you mentioned your familiarity with Boise State over the years and stuff, but this year's team in particular and this game tomorrow, what concerns you most about what they bring to the table?
Well, as Austin and Ridge mentioned, when Dirk came on, they sort of simplified their offense, and obviously his experience has helped them immensely in helping the freshman quarterback. The relying on the run game, their big offensive line, play action pass, a little bit like Austin said we try to do. Run the ball, play action pass, take our shots, and they became a different team with consistency. So you've got to try. Never changes for a defense. You try to make an offense predictable, so you can sort of create your matchups that you want. And they've gotten better at that, and they've got a quarterback that's got mobility, and that's always a concern. I look at the Utah State game. It comes down to the game. I think it's like 28-23, backed up. Minute, and I think it's third down, minute and 23 seconds to go. Had a chance. Utah State had a chance to flip it, and you've got a quarterback that can run the zone read and go 90 yards. So they're using their people, especially on offense, better than they did early. And I think Dirk's a direct, reason for that. And I was telling Andy, we were just talking. I said it was a different team than early in the season. And then you could see as the season went on, the confidence that they, how he called, and the quarterback got better. And then obviously, just like us, they didn't play to the level that they expected to in the championship game, playing Fresno much like us for a second time, and didn't make the plays they needed. So, I thought they've done a really good job.
Any other questions in the room for Austin, Ridge, or Coach Bennett? No, we will open it up to Zoom. If anybody has a question via Zoom, please raise your hand virtually. No? Oh, one more in the back. One more in the back. There we go. You guys are almost clear.
Okay.
Almost.
Okay.
Almost.
I'm Skylar Sachs with Reedy High School opened it. So as y'all went, both teams volunteered yesterday at Fast Packs, and I'm sure y'all do more nonprofit work throughout the year. How has that affected your playing off the field, not just on? Thank you.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. I think one of the things I like about our team, I think we're givers, not takers. And one of the things that I've constantly tried to teach players, I've been fortunate enough to coach, is this is something that you should cherish, and it's not for everybody. And so when you're in this position, you can influence people to be givers instead of takers. Very fortunate to be here.
Yeah, I think that the opportunities that we have to play, college football is great, but giving back to the community is great also. And so you want to do your job on and off the field, and so opportunities like that are something that we cherish and want to do.